Yeah, so we got Stephen and William in the studio, and they are both brothers in a massively successful band, Animal Sun. And my gosh, William, I got to start it off right out of the gate. Even my producer's right on this one. You do look like a younger version of John Lennon.
All right.
I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, like, because I got to ask you right off the gate, who's the lover boy in the group?
Which brother is the young John Lennon? You guys kind of look alike.
Me.
That's
Leave it up to the fans.
So for all the listeners out there that are not aware of Animal Sun and you guys, can you guys kind of explain who you guys are?
Yeah, sure, man. We're an indie rock band that got our start on the East Coast. We were really inspired by bands like The Killers in 1975.
Oh, yeah.
Catfish and the Bottlemen and that type of stuff growing up. And then we kind of hit a glass ceiling last year, 2018, in the fall, where we're like, okay, we're selling out regional shows. We need to do something, get to the next level. So we moved out to L.A., recorded our debut EP, put it out in the summer, and a few wild shows later, plus some interesting radio play with like K-Rock and whatnot.
So let me tell you this, because I know I gotta know. I mean, Marissa and I, we always make that joke that we're like, oh my gosh, can people just stop moving to California? I mean, my gosh, we can't even drive anywhere without.
It's horrible.
I mean,
it's so bad.
The state you guys lived in, Virginia, right?
It's still pretty bad there.
Yeah,
Is it?
really.
No, it's not.
Because
I
don't.
With deer.
DC? Have you guys never been to DC?
No, never. I haven't
talking
been to
about
the East
DC?
Coast. Like,
okay.
so
It's
how?
second worst.
So how's the
Yeah,
lifestyle
95.
like from the East Coast to the West Coast? I gotta understand that there's got to be some kind of difference that you guys immediately noticed when you came down to Los Angeles.
People are way worse drivers.
Yes.
That's the first thing I noticed. And
There's a little higher energy, I think.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're a little
little more
We
manic.
like our horn.
especially in the
Yeah.
concrete
Yes.
jungle.
I tried to honk some guy's horn, like up north, because like someone wasn't moving, and the guy got mad at me. It's like, "Don't you honk my horn?" And I was like, "But the guy wasn't moving, and you weren't honking your horn. That's why we have a horn."
Yeah, no, it's
Horn for
true.
a reason.
But since you guys are now in the LA world, I gotta
Honk their horns,
let's just
ladies.
get right on into it. I mean, you guys heard a little bit of the Nick Cannon's diss track, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
what did you guys think about it? Are you guys fans of it, or who do you think won this
I don't
competition?
think anybody is fans of it. So first,
Go ahead. Tell
no,
me why
Steve-
you're not a fan, and I'll tell you why. So you tell me.
well, I mean, first of all, I think he's clearly doing it for attention. So I'm
Ooh.
instantly not a fan of that. The
Yeah.
other thing is that Eminem has a pretty rabid fan base. So going
Yeah.
after him means it doesn't matter if it's
Yeah.
actually a decent diss track or not. You're still gonna get crucified. So
Yeah, he pretty much
Go over
did.
here. And my biggest thing is like he's trying to diss a guy who literally raised one of his and that's not a biological kid,
Right.
but like raised her as his dad. Like, how is that negative? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're supposed to go around. Nick Cannon tries to say he's a good daddy. I was like, homie, nah.
But there's also another
Yikes.
famous clip with Nick Cannon also saying he put Eminem in his top 5 of best rappers of all time. So it's kind of,
Oh.
I kind of compare this to the whole Motley Crue and kind of Poison beef. It's like, how are they continuously being on tour with each other when Bret Michaels and Nikki Sixx don't
well,
like each other?
Steve, you hit it on the spot. Publicity, attention.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the
Yeah.
Oasis beef, man. What the
Okay.
brothers keep going at
Yes,
it.
I love the Oasis
That's
beef.
true.
Because
That's actually a
people
great
love
point.
to see it.
So let me ask you this, because obviously, recognition is like a huge thing in the music industry. And
Yeah.
for Animal Sun, what does it mean for you guys? I mean, is it for the ego, or is it for the music, or is it to really kind of branch out farther than this country?
Oh man, I mean, Will, do you want to say something first?
Yeah, no. There's a connection you get. This is playing live. Like playing live with an audience, there's this
Yeah.
connection you get. I don't really know how else to describe it. You just this emotional connection with everyone in
People.
the room.
Yeah.
It's all about
electrifying.
connecting with people is what he's basically it's what we're about. We don't
Yeah.
care about anything. We just want to connect with as many people as possible to get our message across. So it's about, when you play these bigger rooms and you see the kids on their parents' shoulders, or
Yeah.
Oh, I
you're
love
playing.
that.
It's all about, reaching a level that, you become more of an idea, a symbol for
Right.
other people than it is about anything else.
So
I
whose
like that.
idea was it to start the band?
It was
Ooh.
joint.
Joint?
For sure.
We've been playing
Yeah?
music
What do you
together.
mean joint? We were eating like cereal, like
Yeah, I know,
Cheerios
right? We're
together.
just
We're
like-
like, hey, I think we should start
Maybe
a band
We
together.
were
How is it?
conjoined, but we got separated.
Yeah.
How did the separation work out then?
Oh my God! Why did you?
Pretty
say
well.
this?
Like I have a good. I mean, look at this. Like motor skills are just.
You're okay. You're on
Yeah,
point.
We're good.
Well, no, I mean, so
Telepathy.
so how did the
You're
whole band
using
get started?
telepathy.
So you said it started off on the early days. So I'm guessing in Virginia.
Yeah, we've been playing music together. Oh gosh, How long has it been?
Like 12 years.
It's
been a long
amazing.
time.
Wow.
So
I
I was
was there.
sucking for a lot of it, but it's been
No,
going
no, no.
on for
I
a
mean,
long
someone's
time.
got to get.
Dave
get
Grohl
the
said it the
start.
best. You got to get in your garage and suck. All right.
That's
Exactly,
Exactly
right.
what-
Some of
yeah.
the best bands develop in the
I'm
garage,
snapping
right?
my
So I,
fingers right
I
now.
see nothing wrong with
They
that.
all develop in the garage.
But obviously, when you're doing something this big and getting a lifestyle as huge as making that venture out to Los Angeles, I know it's really important to surround yourself with some good people in your team. And the only reason why I say this is because obviously this week we had one of those crucial deaths of Juice WRLD just passing away at 21 years old, and he was obviously involved in the drug lifestyle, having up to 70 pounds worth of marijuana,
It was
freaking
prescription
out.
pills that got him.
Took a bunch of Percocets
Oh,
before
did they find the cause of death?
well, they
it's
were saying that he
prescription pills.
swallowed a bunch of Percocets before he landed down because the pilot actually called the police saying that they brought a gun on the plane. So then when the whole rapper entourage crew found out, they freaked out.
And ate their pills
and
or
he
stash.
ate the pills, and that's how he got into
he
the
just
seizure.
got busted, wasn't it the week before for having drugs, or the
I'm
2
not
weeks
too
before?
sure.
Wow.
But
I thought he had just gotten busted
So-
for having some.
So I
oh,
think
man.
it's
Wow.
so important, like
Sad.
for a band like you guys, especially since you're gaining this massive success right now. How important is it to surround yourself in this crazy music industry where sometimes they might just swallow you up?
Well, man, for us, we got a pretty brutal taste of life pretty young, pretty early. We lost people close to us that I think allowed us to take, a broader look at life, realize how short it is, and, it's unbelievably easy to, pass on early if you're not careful. And
Right.
so, I guess being exposed to that kind of keeps us grounded. And that's all of our music, even though we deal with things like mental health, there's always a spark, a glimmer of hope, of light in everything we do, because we want there to be a hopeful message even in, everything we sing about that's dark, like Girl in Blue, dealing with
Yeah.
the metaphor of depression and anxiety and, a lot of things that, kids our age deal with. But, yeah.
You guys kind of remind me of the band Ghost. Like sometimes when you listen to that band Ghost, it's very uplifting music, but then there's some deeper hidden messages in your lyrics that it's like, maybe that's not quite the pretty picture after all. So how did that kind of philosophy get going into the lyrics of your guys' content creating?
I mean, life experiences, right? You'd say, well,
Probably life experiences. I don't know. He's the mastermind, creative genius over here. So
Oh, stop it. You guys are brothers. I mean, so
So-
now you guys answered my biggest question. Who has the bigger ego? Is it the one who
Me.
writes the lyrics? Or is it the one who starts the beat? Because I believe it's the drummer who gets the beat going in the flow. And
the
then,
front man will always have the bigger ego.
Come on, yeah.
So let me
There's
ask
no
you this
other
then.
answer.
it was that way before music.
So who's the lover boy in the group?
Me.
Ooh, okay. And why is that?
nice.
Well, because I have bad self-control.
Bad self-control.
He
And why
lacks
is-
discipline.
Tell me more.
We're yin and
You
yang.
lack
The
discipline.
drummers have the best discipline.
Well, we're yin and yang, so we have a very.
I describe it as chaos and order.
Exactly.
There has to be
I
a
love
balance. You
it.
have to have both, because without the chaos, you don't get the risky, creative stuff. But you need the order, to keep
be
them
able
in
to
to
check.
rein it
actually
in,
keep
so
it
it
together.
continues to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Aw.
we have the same personality, but he's much more reserved.
like Will's face right now was like, I'm gonna question that one.
I mean, we have a similar. We have the same tastes and everything, and some very
So
similar. humor.
let's have some fun with this then,
Oh,
all
go
right?
ahead.
Just to see how close and related you guys are together. I'm gonna
no.
just say your guys' favorite sports team. Will you guys say the same thing at the same time?
Can you give a category?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
Basketball.
do basketball.
Oh, okay. I don't think that Will follows.
1, 2,
Two,
3.
Lakers.
Warriors. Oh,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right,
let's
all
stick
right, football.
with another
Ready?
one. Football.
Ready?
okay.
Okay.
Wait, college or NFL?
Ooh,
NFL.
NFL.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Saints.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We got at least an agreement
All
right
right,
there.
now college. 1,
One,
2, 3.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tide.
so how are you feeling with the roll tide, though? I mean, that's been kind of a disappointing
Okay, so
year.
our best friend, who is a bit of a character to say the least, is a huge LSU
He's
fan.
a
Wait, you
Tiger
guys
boy.
you guys share
Oh.
the same best friend?
He's
Oh,
our
yeah.
neighbor growing up.
Oh,
Okay.
that's so
So yeah,
So
Our
best
friends
friend.
are pretty much.
How can you be best friends being an Alabama fan and an LSU fan?
Because we don't take it that serious.
Romeo and Juliet.
Our dad is.
Yeah, right.
Our dad is nuts.
Born from different
Absolutely
houses.
nuts.
Absolutely.
about we have to leave the house. Like he's like, all right,
Wow.
get out. There's a Bama game going
Was
on.
he the garage that you guys first got started
No, it was
in?
our moms.
Oh, the
Garage.
moms. Gotcha.
Mom was a drummer. Dad was a guitar player and singer. So I
that's
got
cool.
his side and he
And
got
you go,
hers.
oh, that's so cool.
Oh, that's
Your mom's
great.
a drummer. I love that there aren't that many female drummers that we know about too much
Yeah.
that are
Oh,
out
yeah.
there, and they're starting to have a resurgence.
There's a
I'm
lot
seeing
of
a lot
female
more now.
bass players.
A lot.
Oh yeah, all
I don't know
the
why they
time.
always put them on bass, but this is where they end up.
Yeah, why is that? I
slap in
mean,
the
we
sticks, I don't
we
know.
sort of talked about that from
We did.
before, where a lot of the rock bands out there, 95% of them are male, and
It's
how
not cool, man.
Yeah, and
That's right. Open it up. Diversity.
So yeah, I don't know
I
how
love
you.
the Cranberries though, and the
Yeah.
I love
Paris.
them.
Paris is another band that I don't know if you guys have heard of Paris.
I haven't heard of
Yeah,
Spelled with a
Paris
V.
is Paris is
Yeah.
amazing.
Great
Okay.
female front.
Tonight
Oh, I
Alive
gotta
is
look at
phenomenal
Paris. I don't
too.
know Paris.
Pale Waves.
Pale Waves, right?
Yeah, I know a bunch, but like, I mean, the.
But why
common
aren't the
listener-
rest not noticing it? I mean, how do you feel with the radio
Well, Phallus,
industry
there we go.
playing?
Still
What
going.
do you think about the radio industries? Just playing the same repetitive bands 24/7.
It's a
It's
lot
what
of
the
it's-
people want to hear.
As that Mr.
probably.
Krabs meme would say,
Do you
money.
think so,
money.
William? Do you,
Yo.
really, do you really think that though? Do you think that's really what the people want to hear? I mean, we heard "Can't Stop" from Red Hot Chili Peppers probably like 3 times in 1 hour.
I know, right?
I mean, how many times you have a song that you really like? How many times do you listen to that song you really like over and
A
over and over
lot.
and over again?
Over and
Well,
over.
okay,
and
maybe,
over
but
and
I
over.
only define that with albums. I'm like, I love
Yeah,
Slipknot's
I'm an album
new
guy.
album, "We Are
I'll
Not
do it
Your
through the whole
Kind," and it's
album.
one of those
Nah.
albums. The minute I hear one song off it, I'm like, okay, I gotta start
No,
from
I'm
front
that
to
person
back.
that has that individual song from the albums that I
Yeah.
make my own playlist, so I can play it
Really?
over and over and over and
I
over and
can't
over
do that
again.
because I feel like that's how the hip hop industry treats
Well,
their
I
music.
like hip hop. What can I say?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And, I just want to remind all the listeners out there that we have Animal Sun here in the studio. We got Steven and William, and we're beyond stoked because we're going to be playing some of your music live in the studio. I know that's going to be a feature. And, Marissa, what do we get going?
Yeah, when we come back from this short break for announcements, we also have those of you who have been streaming with us this morning. Please continue to listen to our show by going to the chriscollinsshow.com and click on the on-air button.
That's right. So we'll be right back after this commercial break.
We love Seven Deadly Sins, man.
Do you?
Oh, you
Yeah.
Oh, Erica Harlocker is a
Erica-
good friend of mine.
Yes.
Oh, that's What?
awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's Miss
She's
Princess.
No.
awesome.
So she came in on
Can
one
you
of our
introduce
shows.
her?
in the
Princess
early days.
Elizabeth.
Oh, of
Miss
course.
Princess is our
we're,
singer.
we're trying to get her
Princess
in really
Elizabeth.
badly for next year because she just got nailed on Sailor Moon.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're beyond stoked for
those
Erica
words
Harlacker.
are weird.
Oh, wow.
She just got nailed on Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Hey, you're the one that made it
Okay.
go to that extent.
I was
okay?
trying not
I
to.
always
For a show
do.
like Seven Deadly Sins. Okay, no pun intended.
nailed
I
on
mean,
Sailor Moon.
that Japanese anime is totally insane.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought they were going to always pull back on.
No, they kept going. I like
People think
within,
it's kids for kids.
No.
It's not.
It's
No,
definitely
within
not.
so
10 seconds.
perverted.
I was
It's
like,
so perverted.
wow.
But I was weirdly drawn into it.
Of course you were.
And what? But no, hey,
I
hold
wonder
up,
where
hold
the
up,
blood
Marissa.
of my
No,
head
hold up,
is
hold up,
heading
hold up.
to.
Because we also have William and Steven in here that also love the show Seven Deadly Sins.
I
so
love it
let me
too.
throw it at them
Okay, throw
and
it,
be
throw
like,
it.
why is that show Seven Deadly Sins on your guys' radar?
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yes. it's
It
true.
was very
Honestly,
heavily
that's how it
emphasized
should.
at the
That's how
time.
we. That's how
I
we
love
It was
look
a
at it.
Netflix original at first, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Now it's airing on whatever not Toonami, whatever the big
Yeah.
network in
Funimation?
Japan is. Funimation?
I don't know.
I think so, but you know what's so funny? I went to Japan over last year in January. Not too many people in Japan actually knew what Seven Deadly Sins was because
Really?
they call it something different.
They
out
all
there.
Oh,
One Piece.
So-
it's
Natsu
one,
Taizai.
it's, no, not Taizai, but
Yeah.
One Piece is the lifeblood over there.
Yeah, and I was
It's
just,
like
I
your
just
Star
had no
Wars.
idea. And, and when I,
I
go
thought it
traveling,
was what's the little
Dragon Ball.
no, the little Miss Kitty.
oh, the piggy you're talking
Yeah,
about.
no, the Miss Kitty.
Oh, I don't know.
The
Hello
Japanese
Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Oh my gosh.
Hello
The
Yeah.
Japanese love Hello Kitty.
No, it's all One
Kitty.
Piece.
Yes.
Everything is Luffy, One Piece. It's like, it's ridiculous.
That's insane. So let me ask you this, because I know, have you guys done a lot of gigs outside the country?
No, I haven't done any.
Just yet?
We have a bunch
Zero.
of fans always asking us to come to Mexico.
You need to also go to
that'd
the
be pretty
UK.
interesting.
Music
UK.
would blow up in the UK.
Yeah, we have a bunch of listeners in London and Ireland,
Germany.
and Germany too. But yeah, but I would say there's a lot in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So we get. I remember this one kid actually messaged us from the UK. He's 16. Forget his name, but he's like, "Yo, just letting you guys know that I was listening to your EP all day in class today and got my phone taken away. So thanks for that." And I was
Like,
Hey.
like,
great,
"Damn, he
a
found a
compliment?
secret motive."
Yeah, you're like, what the heck is that acoustic ballad playing around? And who's rattling the shake? I mean, who's creating the music behind the desk? Yes, exactly. So let me ask you this,
Crazy
'cause,
shaker player.
I was
Who is he?
I was trying to decipher your guys' band name, Animal Sun.
Oh boy.
And I was having a hard time because at first I was thinking, are they Lion King fans? Is it something like that?
honestly, I thought the same thing.
Right?
I have to admit.
Or is there like a deeper meaning to the band name that I'm not aware of?
Do you want to take the second half? I'll take the first half.
This is brothers
Wow.
working
I
together.
want it at the
I
same
like this.
time. No.
Which one are you more comfortable explaining?
Just start. Just start.
Okay.
I'll
We're gonna-
add the
we're gonna-
ad libs.
We're gonna tag team it. He's
Okay.
gonna pull the ad lib guy, like Migos. He's like, Lambo. No, I'm
Okay.
kidding. All right. So Animal Sun. When we were really into skateboarding growing up, like
Yeah.
really into it. And our friend group kind of had this Stand By Me, Stephen King, It Chapter 1 feel. Where, like,
Okay.
we would go from like city to city. No adult supervision and skateboard, like street skating, like in
Yeah.
random cities like Richmond, Virginia Beach, like DC, sometimes all the way to Philadelphia.
Wow.
And we were filming skateboarding, and just the spirit that was out there was just like free and open. It was totally like, it felt animalistic. It was just like natural, like kids, Lord of the Flies being
I love that.
crazy,
Yeah.
in
I
these
love it.
cities. So Animal's just a reference to those times, like free spirit, like
Okay.
how our friend group was
Okay.
super.
So each
just-
word has like a meaning.
Yeah, and then Sun. Well, you can tell.
So, Sun is a tribute to our late friend who passed when we were in early high school. His name was James Sun. Also
the
part
group.
of one of our,
Yeah.
of our
Oh.
skateboarding crew.
Yeah.
And we wanted to pay tribute to him in some sort
Wow.
of way. He also, with
I got
him
goosebumps.
passing, was
Wow.
kind of
Our wake-up
like
call.
Steven said,
Yeah.
our wake-up call into how, because you growing up, you think you're invincible, you live in a
Yeah.
bubble, you have no
Sure, yeah.
idea,
True.
and then something like that happens to you, and you realize that you are not invincible. So
Right.
it was both our wake-up call.
Keeps
and
us grounded.
Keeps us
Yeah.
grounded.
He's
and-
like the third member of your band there.
No, always.
Always.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
So he's always there and watching over.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
that's
we were,
really cool.
He was 15. I was 16, and James was 15 when he passed. But
Yeah, too young.
Sun is probably the more meaningful part of that name. But Animal, we wanted something that not only sounded like sonically, oh, that's catchy, but we wanted
Right.
it to have some sort of meaning. But obviously, Sun is where our
That's
heart is with
beautiful.
the name.
Wow, that's beautiful. I really do like that a lot, and I mean, especially you guys really got something special going.
Oh,
and
thanks,
I know that your brother up above is really looking over you guys right now because you guys are gaining massive success in 2019, and I can't wait for the listeners to be checking out some of the music from
Yes.
Animal Sun because it's going to be coming up real quick right about now. So I just want to remind all the listeners out there that you're listening to the Chris Collins Show, and we got Animal Sun in the studio. And where can they find you on social media?
Instagram, we drop a lot of teasers there at animal_sun. Sun is SUN, so at animal_sun. Spotify's great. Apple Music, Twitter, if people still even use that.
Same with
love
Facebook.
Twitter.
I don't
think it's
Twitter.
the greatest.
I
So
don't
hey, follow
Twitter.
them everywhere on
Horrible.
social media, and they're on every audio streaming services that you can think of. And Marissa, what
Yeah,
you got?
and if you like what you're listening to, go to chriscollinsshow.com and become a member today.
What's good? I'm Chris Collins. For more updates on the future of our generation, be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out thechriscollinsshow.com. Peace.